What's going on, y'all? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's Friday. Shut up. This week on Wednesday Afternoon Worship, we're breaking out Lost Omens Impossible Lands for a brand new deity, Ragdya. If you're liking what you're seeing, like, subscribe, and ding the bell. Stay caught up on all your stuff for now. Let's dive in. Okie dokie. So, on planet Earth, across several Asian cultures, there are several stories that point to monkeys as divine beings. We could talk about Sun Wukong here, but, well, you know, kinda already did that in Pathfinder. Whole cloth. Whether they be messengers of the gods, or whether they be created in a certain god's image, the stories go wide, and you can see those influences drawn in Ragdya. Much like almost every other faith on Galarian, which will tell you that there's something else at the center of the universe, the world was created differently, so on and so forth. According to the Ragdian faithful, at the very center of the universe, there is a great mountain called Bamenu, and this is where Ragdya sits present day, back to the place they were born. They spend a lot of their earlier years getting involved in the affairs of other deities, having a lot of escapades with them. Yet somehow everyone still likes them. They're like a non-toxic frat boy. Wild. It really helps when those antics are meant to be harmless and when they're meant to teach a lesson. Finding the humor in misfortune rather than wallowing in it on and on evermore. If nothing else, it could expand one's worldview. It is said, after all, that a Ragdian tries anything at least once and gladly tells you the story of how it went wrong at least twice. And so Ragdya's followers can continue to have those experiences. He's a deity that offers reincarnation, as opposed to an eternal reward in the afterlife of your choice. I remember that part when we were talking about the Vinara, and we were like, wow, the Vinara really have to reconcile with the fact that a deity created them in their image, and what does that say about their agency? You can follow this card if you missed it. That happens to cut both ways, because for Ragdya, that rebirth offers the followers of the god the chance to grow, experience more things, but that means Ragdya can never have Ragdya's worshippers or other Vinara, you know, the children that he created, close to him. On the mechanical side, Ragdya is true neutral, with allowed follower alignments of lawful neutral, neutral good, neutral, and chaotic neutral. Their divine font is to heal, their divine ability is dexterity or wisdom, their divine skill is acrobatics. They grant access to the domains of air, confidence, might, and perfection, with family as an alternate domain. And they grant their clerics Shockwave as a first level spell, Mad Monkeys, you knew you'd see it as a third level spell, or Gaseous Form as a fourth level spell. His edicts: one must create humor in life, seek enlightenment through worldly experience, and use harmless pranks to teach others. Anathema to him: discriminate based on social status, make a joke out of someone's suffering, or take control of another's life and agency. His favorite weapon is the mace. Should a worshipper of Ragdya cast Avatar, they gain a speed of 70 feet, a climb speed of 50 feet, immunity to immobilized, their melee attack Gada, with a reach of 15 feet, does 6d10 plus 6 bludgeoning damage. Their ranged attack Mountain Gust with the air trait and a range of 120 feet does 64 plus 3 bludgeoning damage, and it pushes the target 5 feet in any direction. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. The first and maybe the easiest one, and don't quote me on this, there are a lot of deities throughout all of Pathfinder Hood. I haven't been able to even crack the surface of most of the new content, and the old content is voluminous. But I believe Ragdya is one of the few, if not the only, deity so based around humor and practical jokes and stuff, to not just straight up be chaotic, neutral Loki energy. Not to say that energy's bad, but we also really like trope subversion in this house. It's why I like Sukyo with the Madness domain, Nurgle, chaotic evil with the Sun domain. Because that concept is unique, it therefore makes a more interesting character. It also has very strong dad joke energy, and I don't hate that either. You know what it also has? It has a lot of energy to tie into a protagonist really, really hard. Especially in an adventure-y type setting. When I think practical jokes to humiliate rather than just absolutely murder to teach lessons, and also the air domain, my mind is immediately drawn to, you know, your average airbender. And those stories make for really cool bits of world building you can throw in your games. It's literally a part of the Ragdyan faith, altars in taverns where folks come together to exchange tales of their lives. Traveling Ragdyans going from inn to inn, putting on shows with humorous anecdotes. Again, it's the Vinara were literally created to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comforted, stealing from the tyrannical and what have you. And if these stories aren't fuel for adventure shenanigans, I don't know what could be. Literally, there are stories of Vinara who have like styled on deific beings. Here, check this out. I'm just gonna quote this whole paragraph, it's really good. Vinaras look to the legends of heroic Vinaras of the past for lessons on how to live their lives. The most notable and lauded accomplishment of these legendary Vinaras, that which has been known even in the most far-flung ashram in the snow-capped border mountains of Vudra, was the grand act of trickery against Ravana, the greatest of all the Rakshasa immortals. And you know, where the Wajagan Vinara came from. Ravana had tyrannically forced many noble souls, Vinara and human alike, to construct a resplendent bridge of azure stones that would cross the plains from Vudra to the Rakshas's realm. Ravana demanded that each stone be carved to display a mewling visage of the mortal who toiled to cut and shape it. Through mischief and artifice, Vinaras altered the carvings so that, when assembled, they subtly displayed components to a prayer to all the Vudrani pantheon. When the bridge was finally finished, and Ravana marched across it with his army of fiends in a profligate parade, the shuddering of the stones beneath the footsteps mimicked the movements of the communal prayer. Deities drawn by this display toppled the immortal Maharaja, and he still blames mischief-making Vinaras for this humiliation. AKA the BBEG treats their reflex save as 4 degrees of success worse because the gods have said so. They get a criticalist failure, they're buried in azure. It's ironic, it's hilarious, it's got big PC energy, and a deity instills that in people. I really like that. Don't mind me as I casually throw a Vinaran cleric or like air kineticist somewhere on my long list of characters to play one day. For now, that's where I'm gonna leave this one. What do y'all think? Would you make a worshiper of Ragdya? What's the best practical joke you ever played on the bad guys or the good guys or anyone, I guess, at the table? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time.